So this is Hiram Rhodes Reveal. He was the first African American to be elected to the U.S. Congress in 1870, and Democrats tried to prevent him taking a seat. He was an American Republican politician, minister in the African American Methodist Episcopal Church, and a college administrator. He was elected by the Mississippi legislature to the United States Senate as a Republican to represent Mississippi in 1870 and 1871. And again, he was the first African American to serve in either the House or the U.S. Congress. Furthermore, it was Republicans that came to his defense. Hiram Rhodes Reveals arrived on Capitol Hill to take his seat as the first black member of the U.S. Congress in 1870. But first, the Mississippi Republican faced Democrats determined to block him. In January 1870, Reveals presented the opening prayer in the state legislature. That prayer, one of the most impressive and eloquent prayers that had ever been delivered in the Mississippi State Chamber, made Revels a United States Senator. He made a profound impression upon all who heard him. It impressed those who heard that Reveals was not only a man of great natural ability, but that he was a man of superior attainments. One of the Republicans that came to his defense was Charles Sumner, a Republican from Massachusetts. He said, "The time has passed for argument. Nothing more needs to be said. For a long time it has been clear that the colored persons must be senators." He went on to say, "All men are created equal, says the Great Declaration, and now a great act attests this veridity. Today we make the Declaration a reality. The Declaration was only half established by independence. The greatest duty remained behind. In assuring the equal rights of all, we complete the work." Revels also served on both the Committee of Education and Labor and the Committee of the District of Columbia. He wanted to integrate schools, but the Democrats wanted to keep segregation. He said, "I maintain that the past record of my race is a true index of the feelings which today animate them. They aim not to elevate themselves by sacrificing one single interest of their white fellow Americans." Also, much of the Senate's attention was focused on Reconstruction issues, while radical Republicans called for continued punishment of ex-Confederates. Revels argued for amnesty and restoration of full citizenship, provided they swore an oath to the loyalty of the United States. And this man believed in the United States. This is so impactful to me because many of the people early on, they were ministers, just like Martin Luther King. They saw who the party was that wanted to prevent elevating a certain race, and it was the Democrats. But not only that, these people were so much smarter than these other than, I guess you could say, Malcolm or Martin Luther King for sure. That's what he was on the level of. Like, so all these people that get elevated, that they're about black lives, yet they're communists. It's like this was a man that was loyal to America, that believed in taking an oath to the loyalty of the Constitution. And what do we have now? Well, BLM, it's run by Marxists. Black Panthers said they were communist. So that just takes freedom away. That's what has become what is getting elevated, not men like him. I mean, isn't that why they killed Martin Luther King? Because Martin Luther King, he wasn't about dividing. He wasn't about going on some, the white people have privilege. He wasn't about that. That doesn't have any unity to it. but communists pushed that. Also, a little bit more about him. He said this: "I am true to my own race. I wish to see all done that can be done for their encouragement, to assist them in acquiring property and becoming intelligent, enlightened, useful, and valuable citizens." He traveled throughout the country to Illinois, Kansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Ohio, Tennessee, preaching and teaching African Americans. Although Missouri prohibited by law the education of black people, free or enslaved, rebels moved to St. Louis in 1853 to serve as pastor. So he continued to still teach the Bible, even though in certain parts of the country that wasn't allowed. And then in 1854, he had accepted a position at the Presbyterian school, a Presbyterian church. When the Civil War broke out, rebels helped recruit 2 black regiments in Maryland and even led one of them. After the war, his work in education led to his leadership skills his leadership skills in that and the war led him into politics. Despite his cautiousness, Revels was briefly imprisoned for preaching to the black community in 1854. It was after that he accepted a position at the Presbyterian Church. I'm bringing this up for an important reason because, the people that seem to want to fix the racism are either communists, Democrats, and so it never gets fixed because it's not honest. Like, we have to be honest, right? That's the Democrats were the party of the KKK. So this brings me to the American Nurses Association, American Medical Association, who came out in 2020 and said, we're, in lockstep, all of them, with the hospitals. We're recognizing our racist ways. We've been racist for, hundreds of years now. And so we are going to reckon that, and we will now push diversity, equity, and inclusion and show how we're not racist anymore. So here's the thing. Those are then the people that go on to make the decision in nursing. Like, I don't think, again, I've said this, they should not have a seat at the table anymore. Like, you've outed yourself that you've been a racist, but then you want to be the people that are going to go on and tell everybody else how not to be racist. It's sort of like, okay, let's say a man molests a child, but then we're going to let that man be the person that's going to provide therapy to the child he molested. Do you see what I'm saying? How it doesn't make any sense? Yet who's deciding healthcare right now? American Medical Association, American Nursing, along with the Democrats, Bernie, all of them. And everybody that American Nurses Association endorses, everybody. I mean, there may be a straggler Republican here and there, but throughout their history, it's all Democrats. So and even since they came to their racial reckoning, this was part of their American Nurses Association and their reckoning of racism, okay, was attached to their whole letter. But do you see this quote at the bottom? Quote, "If I were to replace my face with a white person's face, where would my career be?" End quote. That's the worst quote I've ever heard, first of all, okay? And it doesn't sound like at all there's any reckoning. If anything, it sounds like, no, they're doing exactly what DEI does. It makes people racist. But then they already said that they were racist. But the fact is they haven't reconciled it. They're just showing that they stand with the KKK party members because the Democrats are no different than they were back in the day. And this is why the whole black-white thing I don't think it's an issue, but for those that keep wanting to make it an issue, it's because there's been no honesty surrounding it. There's been communists that have been elevated in this country that they're about the black lives, okay? And they're not. They're about destroying America. And then as long as the Democrats are deciding health care with the hospital and nursing associations who have admitted that they're racist, well, then we never can heal, can we?